Okay, today we have a Ford Focus 2012 in. So we're just going to show you first of all where the water's been collecting. So if we come round to the passenger rear has water on the footwell. So if we just push this down, we can see all the water under there. It's also got water in the front of the car as well. So I'm just going to quickly grab our little machine. This machine tells us if there's any water underneath the carpets, any moisture. So instead of us having to bring the carpet up, we can just put this down. So we can see that's telling us there's water down this side, but it is dry up on by where the gear stick is. So obviously it's sitting on this side here. If we quickly go round to the driver's side, unfortunately the driver's side has got water in there as well. So it's not as wet as the other side, but it is showing us that there is water under there. And then if we come to the driver's front, just repeat the process again. Okay, so it's telling us there's water under there. So if we lift up this little hatch here and give it a bit of a squeeze, so we can see it's soaking wet underneath all 4 footwells as well. So that would be obviously where the water is. Water can cause a few different problems. It can cause a horrible smell. It can cause mould starting to grow as well on the seats and bits. So obviously the best thing to do is obviously you have to get them dry because you don't want any electrical faults either. So there we go. So we're just going to go on and show you obviously where the leaks are. So beginning with the driver's rear door. What we're going to do is we're going to pour a little bit of water down the back of the window, just simulating it's out in the rain. Should be coming out the bottom of the doors, which it is doing, but if we look very closely, we can see that it's leaking from the door membrane quite heavily. So what that would then do is it would then fall on top of this rubber, and then it would then slowly work its way into the footwell. So that would be the first leak. Just to note as well, we've got these rubbers, which are the outer rubbers to the door. These wouldn't cause a leak, but what they normally cause is sound from wind. So obviously we've got the one on the driver's rear and one on the passenger front as well. So we can just see that holded up on the door. Okay, quick update report on the Ford Focus. So we've got everything stripped down now. The reason for making the video, not only to give you obviously an update on how everything's going, we have noticed when we have done the investigation on the driver's rear door membrane, this is the door membrane, it stops water obviously coming out of the door card. If we look at the bottom here, if I just fold this up, we can see that there's dirt under there, and you can see where the hole is. So that's obviously where it's leaking from, coming down. So we're going to reseal that one there, but looking at the others, because they're the same sort of age, if we have a look down here, we can see this little bit here which has come off. The actual membrane itself doesn't seem to be leaking at the bottom, but if we come up to here, we can see that it's starting to come off, but nothing major on the driver's front. Coming around to the passenger rear, I can't see any problems with this membrane at the moment. It all seems to be stuck on now, except for that tiny little bit here, a little hole there. On the passenger front, this one's got a big gap here, which is starting to peel off from the door. As you can see the sealant in now, and it's just kind of, it's like chewing gum really, like Play-Doh. So it does just start to fall off over time. It hasn't fell off at the bottom, but we can see down here we've obviously got another little bit which is starting to fall off. So we would probably recommend, due to the evidence we've found, to put another hour to 2 hours labour onto the invoice. And what that would do is we would then, instead of just taking the driver's rear door card off, door membrane and the speaker, we would take all of the membranes off and speakers, reseal all of them, and that would be scotching up the area, putting our proper sealant on, and obviously priming them as well. So if you want to go ahead and obviously do the other ones while we've got the door cards off, just let us know. But as I say, that will take us up another 2 hours labour there.